Wells Fargo. Our support of Aggie students goes beyond just banking. By supporting News 22, we're giving back to the community. Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far.
Tonight on News 22,
our reporters visit Santa Teresa to get a look at what is anticipated for the president's border wall.
Selena Quintana tries to get to the bottom of the city's pothole problem.
And NMSU gets a hike in tuition.
News 22 starts now.
Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alyssa Tejas.
And I'm Shelby Kapp. With all the news of walls and military on the border, it's timely that the Border Sheriffs Coalition is meeting this week, right here in Las Cruces.
The coalition is made up of the sheriffs of the 31 U.S. countries that lie along the U.S.-Mexico border. Today, Assistant Attorney General Steve Cook was the guest speaker. He said the U.S. Department of Justice wants to build a strong relationship with local law enforcement, and he wants to hear what local sheriffs need.
Money's always an issue. Money's always an issue to combat crime. Gangs, the drug trafficking problem. Drugs coming across, the drugs within the cities. The inner cities. We need more funding for the federal government.
The country's highest-ranking law enforcement official will join the coalition meeting tomorrow morning. U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions is making a surprise visit. He's scheduled to speak at 1:30 on immigration and border enforcement. Local Democratic officials, including Las Cruces Mayor Ken Miyagashima, 2 council members, and 6 state House representatives sent a letter to Sessions' office requesting a meeting during his visit to discuss several concerns. There's no indication that the meeting will happen. Sessions isn't the only high-level government official to visit the borderland this week. Tomorrow, Secretary of Homeland Security Kirstjen Nielsen will visit the border fence under construction in Santa Teresa. She'll speak to the students of Border Patrol Training Academy. Governor Susana Martinez is expected to be with her.
And that section of the border has been very busy lately. Yesterday, U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents gathered for the groundbreaking of a new section of border wall. Agent Aaron Hull said the wall will be 18 feet by 5 foot and will be 5 feet underground. It will have an anti-climbing plate and will be filled with concrete and rebar. It will replace the existing vehicle barrier that currently does not prevent pedestrians from crossing.
This section, which is part of the Santa Teresa Station, this part of Santa Teresa Station area of operations is our busiest area for illegal alien apprehensions, and it has been for several years. It's also a prime corridor for the smuggling of narcotics. The wall that we're going to put in here is going to serve as an effective barrier to both. It's going to allow us to make more effective use of our agents and our technology.
Construction of the wall is officially underway in El Paso and is expected to be completed within a year.
And the work will begin immediately along a 20-mile stretch.
The cost for the wall is $73 million taxpayer dollars. KOAT's Chris Guerrero has more.
A lot of the Mexico border is made up of these fences, about 20 feet of steel that's very hard to get through, but just a mile away from one of the most popular border crossings are these vehicle barriers.
Southern New Mexicans divided over a new wall on the state's southern border.
I think it's a waste of money because we've got all these people that have good jobs that are taking care of the border, and we've had very little people coming over.
We need a wall of some sort like that to protect our sovereignty, protect our citizens here.
Bobby Sloan owns roughly 1,500 acres of farmland about 15 miles from Mexico.
There's lots of ways that people come into the country besides just running across the border.
Sloan says he's noticed the number of immigrants sneaking into New Mexico has declined in recent years. He thinks a new wall won't impact border crossings or stop crime from spreading into the U.S. Others say undocumented immigrants aren't causing violence in New Mexican communities.
It's just not happening like people want to believe it is.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection officials say crews will start replacing 20 miles of vehicle barriers west of Santa Teresa with taller bollard-style fencing like this. The $73 million project will be done by a Montana construction company, and so far, there's no set date for when work begins. But CBP says crews will break ground this month.
It's unfortunate we have to do that now, but obviously other people are not respecting our sovereignty. So now they're coming here. So what choice do we have?
The new fence is expected to be complete in February 2019. At the border, Chris Guardaro, KRWG Action 7 News.
New Mexico, Arizona, and Texas pledged on Monday to send about 2,000 National Guard members to the U.S.-Mexico border, responding to the President Trump's plan to use the military to help fight illegal immigration and drug trafficking. Trump said last week he wants to send 2,000 to 4,000 National Guard troop members to the southwestern border. Trump has also said he wants to use the military at the border until progress is made for the proposed wall, which has mostly been stalled by Congress.
So it's been a pretty warm afternoon, hasn't it?
It seems like it keeps getting warmer and warmer here in New Mexico. And Jackie is next with weather.
That's right, guys. It's going to actually get warmer tomorrow, but we'll talk more about that later. But right now, we're looking at mostly sunny skies. Our temperature's sitting at 77 degrees, so that's pretty nice right now. Winds are coming in from the northeast at 2 miles per hour, so the winds aren't too bad today. And our humidity is at 0.20%, and the barometer is at 29.94 inches. And today, we hit a high of 82 degrees. Little bit above our average is 77 degrees after an overnight low of 55. Now, taking a look back at record temperatures, back in 1989, we hit a high of 91 degrees, which is well above our average of 77 degrees. Now, back in 1973, we also hit a record low of 30 degrees, which is way below our average low of 53 degrees. Now, we didn't have any rain for today, but our yearly rainfall sits at 0.81 inches. I'll be back later with the national forecast, but for right now, back to Shelby and Allie at the desk.
We now know the names of the finalists to become the next chancellor of New Mexico State University.
The Board of Regents met yesterday to vote on the 5 people selected by a 19-member search committee. The university hired Wayless Partners to recruit candidates. They're pleased with the 5 finalists.
Well, you know, a lot of energy and enthusiasm. I think all the candidates have that. Some ideas about, you know, how to move the university forward to continue the momentum we've seen over the past few years with the leadership of our current chancellor and working on enrollment and retention and other areas that are fundamental to the business and success of the university.
Current Chancellor Gary Carruthers will retire on July 1st, ending a lifetime of service to NMSU. Here's a look at the candidates, one of whom will take his place.
The finalists are Dan Arvizu. He is the only one of the finalists with a New Mexico State degree. He received his Bachelor of Science here. He is presently Senior Advisor to the Emerson Elemental Practice of Emerson Collective. In 2015, he retired as Director of the U.S. Department of Energy's National Renewable Energy Laboratory. Barbara Dameron is Secretary of the New Mexico Higher Education Department and is the Higher Education Executive Officer for New Mexico, with oversight of state's public institutions of higher education. John D. Floros is Dean of the College of Agriculture and Director of K-State Research and Extension at Kansas State University. He has led the development of the college's strategic plan, guided the college to record student enrollments, retention, and graduation. Robert J. Marley currently serves as the Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor at Missouri University of Science and Technology. He is a Professor of Engineering Management and Systems Engineering. And Brian J.R. Stevenson. Stevenson is the former president of Lakehead University in Ontario, Canada. While in that role, he led the university through an intense period of growth, internationalization, and greatly enhanced national and global profile.
In addition to a new chancellor, a 3.5 increase in tuition is also in place for next year. The annual cost to attend NMSU is now $7,122 for in-state full-time undergrad students. With the new increase, students should expect to pay $7,371. The Board of Regents approved the hike Friday. The increase is expected to bring more than $2.5 million. Many of the financial troubles come from falling enrollment. This year's enrollment is about 14,500 students, down 3,500 students from its height in 2009. Drivers already have plenty of reasons to be cautious when on the road, but there's one issue that the city is constantly working on year-round.
And that's potholes. Selena Quintana has more on the story.
Potholes fill the streets of Las Cruces every year. They come in different shapes and sizes and become more frequent in the cold winter months and summer monsoon season. This has drivers like Valeria Ceja concerned for the safety of her car.
It's a huge problem just because of the amount of damage it does to our cars. I can only imagine how many cars pass through here every day.
What most people don't know is the city is working daily, filling the potholes reported by the community. Street maintenance supervisor of Las Cruces, Lorenzo Renteria, says they work on getting the potholes repaired as soon as a 24-hour period.
We typically get complaints every day for potholes. From December to now, we've received about 530 pothole complaints, and we typically try to get those in a 24-hour period. So our rate right now is about 90% of the potholes are being filled within 24 hours of being reported.
And potholes like this can sometimes go unnoticed by the city. It then becomes up to us in order to report it and get it fixed.
We have something that's called a 311. It goes through our city website, and you go to report an issue, and it'll walk you through on how to report a pothole. And then that email will get forwarded to me directly so that we know that it's there.
You know, I started avoiding the area because I didn't want to damage my car. The size of the pothole is huge, you know, and I didn't know where to report it, but now that I know how to report it, I'm definitely going to get on top of that.
Since then, the pothole that Ceja has been avoiding has been reported to the city and is in the process of being fixed. Selena Quintana, News 22.
For more information on how to contact the city to report potholes in the community, you can visit www.lascruces.org. And stay tuned, Jackie will be back with your national forecast.
But first, we take a look at what Las Cruces cyclists were up to this past weekend. More on that when News 22 continues.
At a recent KRWG coffee visit, we talked with KRWG fans about why they value public media.
The fact that you're here in T or C says a lot to me, that you're interested in our community.
KRWG is my major source of information and entertainment.
Please support public radio. If not for yourself, do it for me.
Become a member online at krwg.org or call 1-888-922-5794. Thank you.
This month in Passport, your on-demand library of the best of PBS.
I left my heart. I can count on the fingers of one hand the people who have shaped my life.
These and other shows are available with Passport. Become a member of this PBS station, sign in, and start streaming today.
Welcome back. You're watching News 22 Tuesday,
where news matters.
Bicyclists have had as much to share on the road as cars. And yesterday morning, they had what they call an visibility bike ride to raise bicycle awareness.
Bicyclists gathered at the Railroad Museum around 7 a.m. The ride was led by the League of American Bicyclists, and anyone who wants to learn better commuting skills is encouraged to show up as well.
It's to make drivers aware that bicycles belong as traffic in the road, and so that people recognize bicycles as traffic.
The ride lasted about 40 minutes and ended at the Starbucks on University, where they got their morning coffee.
Illinois officials are warning some synthetic marijuana products may have chemicals used in rat poison. The state's Department of Public Health reported so far 3 people have died after using synthetic cannabinoids. The synthetic cannabinoids are often called spice, K2, or fake weed. Lieutenant Governor discussed the cannabinoids outbreak Tuesday during a visit to Peoria.
Several individuals who used synthetic cannabinoids experienced severe bleeding and have tested positive for a chemical often found in rat poison. While the synthetic cannabinoids in general are dangerous, the severe bleeding seen in these cases is consistent with someone who has been exposed to rat poison.
According to state health officials, as of Monday, 107 people in central Illinois and the Chicago area have experienced severe bleeding after using synthetic cannabinoids.
The first ever Las Cruces Space Festival will kick off this weekend, with space-themed movies playing at the Rio Grande Theater, and full-size replica of Spaceship Two will be displayed in downtown. Space-related activities will be happening around town. And many speakers and exhibits will be here at NMSU. All events are free. If you would like more information about event times, you can visit the Las Cruces Sun News website.
So thankfully we've been having good weather here in New Mexico, but I don't think everyone else in the nation is having the same luck.
Definitely. Jackie is next with our national weather.
Well, you guys are right. Actually, up here in Seattle, they're looking at some snow and some drops of rain here and there. Sacramento as well. So up here in the borderland, we're looking at nice sunny skies, but moving west, we're seeing some more clear skies. In Salt Lake City, they're sitting at 69 degrees. Dallas, they're looking at a nice 82 degrees. And San Antonio is actually looking at 83 degrees as well. And in our next map, it's kind of the same thing, but Seattle is going to be looking at some more snowy conditions, and Minnesota is going to be getting some of those snows and flurries with it, and they're sitting at 42 degrees, a little bit higher than Seattle at 52 degrees. Sacramento and Los Angeles are looking at some nice sunny skies. Albuquerque, you're looking at some cloudy skies tomorrow, a high of 78 degrees. Kansas, 78, nice and clear skies. And Atlanta, 75 with nice sunny skies. That's all I have for your national forecast. We're going to take a quick break, but I'll be back with your New Mexico weather.
Fresh Air with Terry Gross, weekday mornings at 11 on 90.7 FM and streaming live on KRWG.org.
Finding any moose, let alone one with a newborn, is a daunting challenge, but I got lucky. I'm really excited to see how this animal survives its first year in the Canadian Rockies. Moose populations are declining. Any calf born now has the deck stacked against it.
Wednesday at 7 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
Vilna was one of the most important cities in Jewish history.
This is ground zero for the final solution.
In June, the Germans attacked us.
80 Jews hatched a plan. They started digging an escape tunnel. The entrance to the tunnel was found, but they couldn't find the continuation.
You've got no idea what we're going to find down there?
Oh my goodness.
This is astounding.
Wednesday at 8 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
Welcome back. We're going to take a look at your current conditions across New Mexico. Farmington sitting at 67 degrees, Santa Fe 63, Gallup 70, Albuquerque 71, Clovis 66, Socorro 74, Ruidoso 62, and at Deming at 78 degrees. Now tomorrow, your highs are increasing all across New Mexico. Farmington and Gallup, they're sitting in the higher 70s. Albuquerque 83, Clovis 86, Socorro 89, Ruidoso 76, Roswell 94. That's our high for tomorrow, and then Deming at 89 degrees. Now taking a look at cities near our area. Tonight, Alamogordo is looking at some nice clear skies, sitting at 54 degrees, and tomorrow, sunny skies with a high of 89 degrees. Now, in Truth or Consequences, they're looking at both clear skies for tonight and tomorrow, and their high sitting at 91 degrees. So that's a really big increase of their high tonight. And tomorrow, Silver City is looking at some partly cloudy skies. They're low at 46 degrees, and tomorrow, some nice clear skies sitting at 80 degrees. And in here in Las Cruces, we're looking at some partly cloudy skies, our low sitting at 53 degrees. And tomorrow we're also looking at a 91 degree, our highest degree for tomorrow. Now that's all I have for your Las Cruces weather and your New Mexico weather. Back to the girls at the desk.
A Las Cruces man almost pulled off some magic by nearly escaping the police.
That's the first story in tonight's Crime Blotter.
A man is back in custody after escaping from Doña Ana County Sheriff's deputies. Edwin Chavez was arrested after allegedly stealing a vehicle then jumping out of a moving cruiser on Sunday. Chavez was captured after falling into an irrigation canal. He's in the Doña Ana County Jail without bond. A woman suspected of DWI has been charged with child abuse. Police say Desiree Maribel had her 7-year-old daughter in her vehicle during a single vehicle crash early Sunday morning. She's charged with child abuse and driving under the influence. Maribel was booked into the Doña Ana County Jail Center but has since been released on bond. Police arrested a Las Cruces man suspected of striking his 7-year-old daughter because the little girl gave him a look that reminded him of his ex. Kiefer Moore is charged with a third-degree felony, child abuse. Moore was arrested yesterday evening and booked into the Doña Ana County Jail where he is initially being held without bond. I'm Amanda Adame with the Crime Blotter.
I heard that a ex or a former NMSU coach is actually owing the school some money.
Oh, I think I heard about that too. Diana Castillo is next with sports.
Thanks, Shelby and Alyssa. Coming up in sports, find out if Paul Weir and NMSU came to a settlement agreement. We'll be right back with News 22 Sports.
Next time on Call the Midwife. You have taken another wife?
We are blessed.
You are the father? There she is! Wonder if she felt lonely up there by herself.
She's a fearless adventurer, fulfilling her destiny. You're a nurse and a midwife, and there are rules you've broken.
Are you going to report me?
Thursday at 8 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
Next time on Soundbreaking.
The first single I bought was I Want to Hold Your Hand by the Beatles.
Everything about vinyl was great. The smell of it.
Our on-again, off-again love affair with musical formats.
There's a girl that you're really into. I go make her mixtape.
The format shift in the record industry, an average is 15 years.
CDs are disappearing.
Friday at 9 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
Welcome back. I'm Diana Castillo, and let's talk sports. New Mexico State University and former basketball coach Paul Weir have reached a financial settlement. Due to Weir's previous departure from NMSU, they have agreed upon a settlement of $450,000. Weir will have to pay this amount in a span of 7 years. As head coach, Weir led the Aggies to a WAC championship in a trip to the NCAA tournament. He then left the following year to become the head coach of the University of New Mexico, which broke his contract with NMSU. The New Mexico State University baseball team is in Albuquerque right now, facing off against their I-25 rival, the Lobos. The first pitch was at 6:30 p.m. today. This is the first of the 3 times the Aggies will play the Lobos this season. Currently, the Lobos have a 5-game losing streak, and the Aggies hope to make that 6. Right now, the Aggies rank in the top 20 in 10 different categories across the NCAA. Kelsey Horton is now the 3rd Aggie to win a Hitter of This Week honors. The award is the 5th weekly honor of her career as an Aggie. Horton was also named the College Sports Madness National Softball Field Player of this week. The New Mexico State softball team will be taking on Grand Canyon University this weekend in Arizona. The New Mexico State women's tennis team is back after a hard weekend in Seattle. The Aggies women weren't able to pull off a win all weekend. They lost to Seattle U on 1-6 on Friday and lost to UT Rio Grande Valley 2-5 on Saturday. On Sunday, they tried their best against UMKC, but lost 0-7. After losing this weekend, the Aggies received the number 3 seed in the WAC tournament.
New Mexico State's final home match will be against I-10 rival UTEP. The match will be on April 14th at 2 p.m. And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action tomorrow. Still ahead on News 22, Jackie will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast. But first, be ready to beady beady bum bum. More on that when News 22 returns.
I used to write on my bombs, Hitler, here's a gift for you. A gift from us Jews.
They identified as Jews because they were fighting a people that were trying to destroy the Jewish people from the face of the earth.
Wednesday at 9 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
The rise of the music video was a game changer for pop music.
Songs became grander and bigger.
I cut my hair, I dyed it. It was a kind of statement to say that you're at odds with society.
If you know how to shock, you know how to rock.
Friday at 8 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
Most of us remember her as the queen of Tejano music. Selena Quintanilla will be honored all month throughout various Hispanic communities as the anniversary month of her death. Even our sister city of El Paso is getting in on the fun. All weekend long, the Alamo Drafthouse will be having screenings of the movie Selena, along with sing-alongs, look-alike contests, and even Selena trivia. For more information, contact the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema in El Paso.
I think I'm gonna have Bitty Bitty Bom Bom stuck in my head after
That's my
that.
favorite song. So you guys, tomorrow we're hitting our first day in 90s.
Oh wow.
So it's pretty exciting for people like me who love warm temperatures. I'm so excited tomorrow. Tomorrow our high is 91 degrees and we're looking at some windy conditions Thursday through Friday. Then Saturday and Sunday we're warming back up.
Oh, I'm not sure if I feel about this weather. I'm not really into like getting hot and sweating.
I am. I'm so ready. And you can catch all of tonight's aired stories and past newscasts on our YouTube page at youtube.com/KRWG News 22. I'm Shelby Cap.
I'm Alyssa Tejas.
I'm Jackie Loera.
Good night.
This news brief in Español is brought to you by Noticias 22, Spanish language news for southern New Mexico and West Texas. Noticias 22.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Los saluda con mucho gusto Raquel López en este breve informativo de Noticias 22. La policía arrestó a un hombre de Las Cruces sospechoso de golpear a su hija de 2 años. Kiefer Moore, de 23 años, es acusado de un delito de tercer grado de abuso infantil. Investigadores descubrieron después de la 1 de la mañana del sábado, Moore regresó a su casa con su madre y su hija. Moore llevó a su hija al interior de la casa y poco después Moore regresó afuera y colocó a la niña en el asiento trasero. La madre de Moore confirmó a los investigadores que Moore golpeó a su hija en la cara. Moore golpeó a su hija porque le echó una mirada que le recordó a su ex. Moore fue arrestado el lunes por la noche y fue ingresado en el centro de detención del condado de Doña Ana, donde inicialmente está detenido sin fianza. Hoy en la mañana los alguaciles del condado fronterizos de Texas, Nuevo México, Arizona y California se reunieron para discutir problemas que están sucediendo en la frontera. La conferencia enfocará sobre los temas del tráfico de drogas, pandillas y abuso de opioides y discutir soluciones para prevenir estas situaciones. El Procurador General de los Estados Unidos, Jeff Sessions, tiene previsto visitar a Las Cruces mañana a esta misma conferencia de alguaciles. Los temas principales de discusión durante la visita serán sobre la ley de inmigración y la ley de seguridad en la frontera. Para Noticias 22, Raquel López.
Local support for a portion of today's programming is provided by Wells Fargo. Our support of Aggie students goes beyond just banking. By supporting News 22, we're giving back to the community. Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far.